And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals of ESL Open Cup Americas number 241. That's a lot of Open Cups, that's a lot of ESL Americas, and we are here to determine our first finalist of the tournament of the night. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Swedish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Root Gaming. It is SortOf. Let's go. Oh boy, it's been a pretty long event so far. I mean, I say long event. It's been 3 hours. It's been a solid tournament so far, solid turnout as well. We've had some ups, we've had some downs, and SortOf has been having a pretty deep run here. Did go all the way to the ace match against both Vindicta and against Silky, but has made his way to the semifinals. And how does he compare to a Protoss? What I'm getting at is we've seen SortOf against Zerg, we've seen him against Terran, but what about Protoss? What about Gerald? As again, Gerald, he is the only one of the top 4 that has actually won an ESL Open Cup Americas in the past. We did look it up. It did occur back in 2021, so it's been a couple of years. It's been a couple of years since Gerald has claimed a victory here or claimed a win in ESL Americas, but he has that experience, he has that behind him. None of the other semi-finalists have that. Oh boy. So we'll see if anyone can bring Gerald down, as he's the favorite coming into the top 4. For now, being as annoying as possible. Sealing those minerals, at least attempting to disrupt the mining in the main base. Meanwhile, if you're in the chat, predictions are open. They're about to close, actually, so make sure you get your Gamba going while you can, as the predictions will close up right about now. Oh boy. But now, hatch gas pool, standard opener. Is going to be a standard opener here out of SortOf. Is forced to take the unnatural natural, but outside of that is settling in. And meanwhile, across the map, Gerald going for his own setup, going for his own gate expand into Cybercore, standard opener out of our Protoss player. Nothing too crazy, nothing too wild yet. Yes, SortOf is forced to be a little bit more uncomfortable, but outside of that, everything is looking as it should. And there it is, we have our Stargate on the way. Is going to be a Stargate opener out of Gerald. Is going to be a standard start here. The Stargate is for Oracle production, to get across the map, to get some harassment, to get some scouting information, to keep an eye on SortOf, and to safely expand and get a third base. Assuming it's an Oracle, it could be a Void Ray opener. True, could be Void Ray. But based on the rally, it should be the Oracle here for Gerald. As the initial Adept is moving out, and the Overlord likewise pokes in to get an eye on those Adepts. Does spot the move out as well. And again, SortOf is caught in between his bases. We'll see if he can protect those mineral lines. Lings have arrived. So far, so good. The drones are kept safe and sound. We get onto the high ground as well, but alas, Lings are lying in wait, and we can surround the Adept. Big overextension. This takes a lot of hits, and the Adept, it's going to go down. It's so close. Ooh, it does fall. A big pick off. A very early loss here for Gerald. That should not have happened. Gerald, he got a little bit too greedy, got a little bit too ambitious. Was punished for it. Adept backs off. And now we take a third. Oracle is on the way. Third base is being taken now because the initial Adept went down. That means that there's one less Adept to defend, and that means the third base is that much more vulnerable. The Lings have arrived. We're looking for a cancel, and can we get it? It's going to be close. We force activation of the Pulsar Beam, and SortOf will back off. Geralt will defend, but forced to spend energy back at home, forced to keep the first Oracle back at home as well. That is giving SortOf time to mass up an army, to get into Queens, get into Spore Crawlers, and to defend. Here we go, we have one Spore Crawler at the natural, and a Spore in the main. Queens are massing, we're droning up, so far so good. SortOf hasn't lost any drones yet, but that might be about to change. That might change here as Geralt is getting into additional Oracles. Behind this, that's a Twilight Council. Very early on, and no force. This looks like Glaive Adepts. Uh-oh. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. It was an earlier Twilight Council, but there's the Forge. Forge is on the way. Should be +1. Should be either Blink or Charge. We'll see what Geralt does embrace. Oracles get across the map. They threaten to dive. We get a full surround with the Queens. We get into the main base. There's only the Spore. We get one drone kill so far. The Queens are keeping up, and we do intercept. Once again, good positioning here by SortOf. He does deflect those Oracles, and with that, we only get one drone kill. Meanwhile, when it comes to the take of choice, Blink. Blink is on the way, +1 is on the way, as we mentioned before. Initially, I thought it was Glazed because there was no Forge, but with the Forge being thrown down, it was going to be Blink Stalkers. So a standard follow-up here from Gerald, not being too spicy. Back at home, SortOf, he's had some very impressive defense so far with the Queens. Looking at the units lost tab, 2 drones for 1 Adept. But the Oracles are at least still alive. They can still pose a threat. They can still threaten those mineral lines and get some worker damage. Not yet, but they can. They have potential. Behind this SortOf, he wants to try to bait out those Stalkers. Blink isn't done. We get a full surround. And we're going to get both. Oh, we should have at least gotten 1, but SortOf does pull away. He respects the Oracles. Does want to bleed out too many Lings. Got some nice hull damage. Behind this, Lings are amassing. We have not skipped the Roach Warren. Roach speed is on the way. And Gerald is moving out. How many gateways are we on? We're on 4, soon to be 8. We're going for a 3-base all. Oh, are we going for a 3-base all in? We are. A cheeky move here out of Gerald. So I almost stopped myself from saying that because I'm like, oh, we took a gas. But we didn't. Because we only took 1 gas at the natural, 1 gas at the third, only 4 gases. And that is a massive gateway explosion. That is going to be 8 gateways for Gerald. The Lings are trying to buy time, but we're going to have a lot of Stalkers to work with. Now, what's interesting is that there's no War Prism. There's no Robo, there's no War Prism, so it looks like Gerald should be expanding. Yeah, we're taking another base. We have a high gateway count, but no way to really reinforce across the map. So we're being assertive, yes, but we're still expanding. We're still transitioning behind this, which means SortOf will get away with taking up. Hydra Tech on the way. The upgrades are on the horizon. Infestation Bit, Hive Tech, Lurkers as well. SortOf needs a little bit more time. And can we hold on to the 4th? Can we hold on? Adept shading in. Ling almost catching a Stalker. Oh. The Lings are punished. Adepts threatening the 3rd base. The Adepts are at least spotted by SortOf. He is aware. He's getting ready. But this 4th base is actually really late. It's really late for SortOf, and Gerald, he's here to knock it down. SortOf from here would have to double expand. Lings do get into the natural. We do force a warp in. Lings are headed towards the main base. Meanwhile, Gerald is in position and he wants that expansion. He wants it, but he won't get it. Roaches are here just in time. We lose the Queen. Nice bait here from SortOf. Baits out the stasis. The Lings are cleaned up, but it's worth it because, hey, we saved the base. We finally get a 4th. The 4th is up and running. 5th behind this, I'm sure. Main lining over, saturating the 4th base. SortOf is holding his own, and here come the Lunkers. The Hive is on the way, Lurker Den as well. SortOf, he's almost reached his final form. He needs a little bit more time. He's almost there. SortOf, he's almost there. Oh my god, the stasis does catch the army! Massive stasis on the Roaches, and now we're exposed, we're vulnerable! Gerald, he goes for the dive, and dives on the Ravagers, dives on the Hydras, boys are being pulled, and SortOf, he's getting caught out. He needed a little bit more time! The stasis was brutal. And we're bleeding out workers, we're gonna lose 6 drones. And it looks like we have broken the 4th base. And with that, that is the backbone of a SortOf. I say that with reinforcements, we're barely holding on, but we lose 11 drones. And SortOf, his economy is in the gutter. He's down to 3 bases, a 3-base economy against a 4-base Protoss. Oof, and we're bleeding out too many Roaches. Again, too much momentum in favor of Gerald. Roaches are going down, the base is going down. And we can just keep pushing. We don't have to back up, and we're not. And we blink forward. Even getting Overlords. Overlords are going down. Hydras as they pop out. And SortOf, he just was never able to establish a 4th base. He was so close to getting there. So close. If it wasn't for that stasis, maybe we survive. Maybe we defend long enough to make Lurkers. And defend that 4th. But likewise, this 4th base is very exposed. Like, it's right next to this high ground. It's so difficult to hold on to. Lurkers have arrived, but it's too little too late for that. The damage has been done. And at a certain point, Gerald can try to break this position, even with the lurkers. We can try to push in. Now getting up to 6 lurkers. The lurker count is getting higher. True. Getting a higher lurker counts. Disruptors are on the way for Gerald. We get the revelation. Lurkers repositioning. Gerald's collapsing on the right hand side. Roaches are ready for this. Nice defense here from SortOf. And we're pushing in. Lurkers, they try to reposition. They will be able to. We're holding on. SortOf, can we stabilize? He's now on 4 bases. We're slowly building up that lurker counts. Oh my god, oh my god! And Gerald, he walks in! Without Immortals, without Disruptors, without Sky Toss, we can't really break this. As long as SortOf is in position, he should be okay. And can SortOf stabilize. It's a rocky road here. It's gonna be a difficult path to follow for SortOf. Disruptors have arrived. Nice click, we save the Disruptors. Nova goes up. We get 1 connection, but we get the other Disruptor. And SortOf is holding. Behind this, Gerald. Oh, Sky Toss. We're going for the Stargates. Going for the Fleet Beacon. Oh my god. No detection. Oh, Gerald. That lead that he once had, it's slipping away. We are taking some rough fights. Some very rough engagements. Again, 16 Stalkers and 2 Disruptors for what? For 4 Hydras? Barely anything. The Lunkers. It's happening. Nova's going up. Raising the army. To raise the army. Ling's trickling into the main as well. Going for the Nidus Worm. Skytoss is spotted. Important here for SortOf. He can take into Vipers. You have the tech for it. Ooh, we have to be careful though. Nova's going up. Ooh. Catching 1 lurker. Oh my god, catching a massive chunk of Zerg as well. But SortOf, he is holding his own, but he gets caught out. Never mind. Oh my god. We lose another lurker. Another massive Nova connects, and another lurker goes down. Finally, Gerald trading well. Does catch a good chunk of army. 2 more lurkers go down. Oh my god. That's 7 lurkers in total for 1 Stalker and 9 Zealots. The trade's much more in favor of Gerald, and now we're getting into that Sky Toss, into those Tempest. This is still anyone's game. But momentum is swinging back in favor of the Protoss. Massive Novas going up. Oh my god, the connections are brutal. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, the connections are insane. We're getting into the Disruptors. We can clean up the ground army at least. That is most of the army. At the same time, massive Zealot counterattack. There's only 1 lurker in position. And we get the base. We knock down the 4th once again. It's a one-way trip for these Disruptors. Oh, we go for the recall. We're going to be able to save it. Just barely. But it's getting messy, Pipe. It's getting messy. SortOf is moving out across the map with everything he has. Can we get the yoink? We can! Oh no, but there's 2 more! Yeah, so many Disruptors. GG gets called as SortOf does run out of steam, and Gerald takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Gerald, for the most part, was in control of this game from the beginning, from knocking down the 4th base, but SortOf was able to claw his way back in and did take some better trades. We saw Gerald overextend multiple times into lurkers, but despite those missteps, despite those mistakes, it was still not enough. In the end, Gerald does still claim the first game, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Getting into that second game. And we'll see if Gerald can close out the series and make it to the grand finals, or if SortOf can fight back and force the ace match. I'm hoping he can. I'm hoping he can. As you can hear the beeps, we are loading into game number 2. It's going to be on Golden Aura. Let's go. Here we go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Golden Aura, we have our Polish Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. Ooh, leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player from land of Sweden, representing Root Gaming. Down in this series, looking and hoping to fight back here and now to force the ace match. It is SortOf. We go. We are calming things down. Once again, Geralt is going to be able to block and deny the expansion. Does force the unnatural natural out of SortOf. So we are settling into game 2. Does confirm the location of the expansion. SortOf, I don't think, is really one to go for a hatch block or a proxy hatch across the map. Doesn't really come off as that kind of cheesy, aggressive player. He's not crazy, not like Dark or Shin or Raynor or even Cyril at times. Like, it's just gonna calm down, play at a macro game, at least a macro-based opener. And we'll see how SortOf does approach this. For now, just gate expand, standard opener from our Protoss player, and likewise, nothing too crazy out of our Zerg either. As a reminder, SortOf did open up safely last game, didn't skip his Roach Warren, was even forced to make Roaches early on, but the problem came down to the lack of fourth. The fourth base was a big point of contention, and SortOf could not hold on to it, could not embrace it. As a result, was never able to really keep up with the supply, with the production of Gerald. Wasn't quite able to. Siema. Siema, papi. Overlord is going to be dipping in. Oh, and we have our tech of choice, not going for the Stargates, going for the Twilight Council instead. Alas, the Overlord should be able to scout. There's no anti-air, there's no Stalker yet. Stalker is now on the way, it's being promoted as we speak, and the Overlord has yet to confirm what's going on. The Overlord did dip into the main and is not quite checking further into the natural, but we might be able to. It's going to be close. Oh, he's so close. One more pixel. One more. He spots it. Barely. He does spot. He does confirm. Does get eyes on the Twilight Council. SortOf is aware. And it looks like he wants to double check. Yeah, there we go. Does confirm. Hopefully it doesn't cost him the Overlord to confirm though. Up. Oh my god. Barely does get away. Does escape in time. And back at home, we should be working towards that Roach Warren. A little bit too early for that, so we're going to be joining for now. Back in the main base, we have yet to pull out a gas, but we are embracing the Dark Shrine. There it is. DTs are on the way. It's going to be a Dark Shrine base opener. SortOf should be aware that this is a possibility. He is moving out his Lings. Does get nice around. That races back home. The Stalker will deny the Overlord Scout. And there's that Roach Warren at around the 4-minute mark. So a nice timing with the Roach Warren. But what I'm concerned about is the... Oh, is the tech, is the detection. We check, we confirm. No researching. That's the downside of the position here, is that we can check with the Lings, and we confirm that there is no researching upgrade. We should be aware of DTs. Like that should have been a tell. Right? There we go. I was concerned. There we go. Spore's on the way. We have a Spore at the third. We have a Spore at the natural. No Spore in the main yet. But we will have detection. Prism is moving out. Gerald headed towards the main. SortOf does have another Spore in the way. And the Queens are in position to at least zone away the War Prism. And DTs are waddling in. We're keeping up. Ooh, the Queens are getting caught out though. Yeah, they're caught off of creep. One Queen does fall. We don't quite get the other. More Dark Templar being morphed in. Behind this, Gerald is expanding. He's not going for an all-in himself. He's expanding behind this. So Gerald is going to back off, he's going to rotate around. Does have the option to go for some Archon drops, and there we go. The Archons are now on the way. There are multiple phases to this aggression, initially with DTs, followed by Archons. And behind this, we're just going to be macroing up, getting into our third base economy, taking into the Bay, into the Forge, into upgrades, into eventually, I imagine, Colossus or Disruptors. And SortOf is going to attempt to punish this and will not get an Adept. But does at least force back the War Prism. And the Archon Harass is delayed. And back at home, SortOf is going to be able to saturate his bases, droning up. He defended quite nicely. Fourth base is delayed, but for now we're just settling into our 3 bases. Just making sure we are secure. And we're still waiting for Gerald to find some more damage. Going for the Queen. Doesn't quite get it. We do pull away in time. Creep is being cleaned up. Queens do rotate. The rotates have arrived. And we don't quite get the Queen in the end. Does barely get away. Nice defense here out of SortOf. Does save the Queens. Behind this, it is going to be Disruptor first for Gerald. We're going for initially Disruptor, and I imagine Colossus thereafter. Meanwhile, we do see SortOf going into a fast infestation bit. Interesting. Are we willing to go into Swarm Host? Or are we just taking into fast Vipers? I mean, both have their place. But I imagine Viper Tech is a little bit more ideal. There we go. Hive is on the way. Should be for Vipers. And that is going to be a secure way to deal with these high-tech units, whether it's Disruptor, Immortal, Archon. The Changeling does reveal the army. SortOf is aware. And this time, SortOf is happily mining from his fourth. We mentioned before that in Game 1, we had a very hard time establishing the fourth base, but this time it's up and running. I mean, not fully saturated yet, but the creep is solid. It's not going to be as easy to punish this expansion. I say that, we do have those Disruptors. The Vipers are not ready yet. Disruptors have potential. Oh! Bold move by SortOf. He wants it. Wants those Disruptors. Get more Disruptors on the way. Not even thinking about the Colossus, just purely Disruptor. I mean, can do quite well against Roach Ravager. This army can be quite clunky, quite difficult to split. We get eyes on the 5th, and we will deny it. Oh! Ooh, that's a kill! Oh, that should not have happened. A kill, not a cancel on the hatchery. At the same time, Roach is going to go for a big counterattack. Oh my god, the Nova connects! And the overcharge keeps the Disruptor alive, just barely. Gerald does defend. And across the map, he's pushing in. Show us those Novas. So far, just trading with the army. Nova goes off. No big connection. Vipers are on the way. Lurkers as well. But the Viper does need time to gather energy. Gerald is going to rotate. SortOf going for the gold. Now trying to rush into that gold base. Prism going into the main. It's going to be the Disruptor drop. So far we're keeping up. Please, they catch the Disruptor. They get one. Ooh. Nova does connect. We get the Immortal as well. Very nice catch. Disruptors and Immortals. And the Prism is not here to reinforce. It is solo. One shot away from going down. And again, a rough movement here from Gerald. A rough engagement. Goal base is on the way. SortOf is maxed out. But we do, oh my god, we do punish this though. We punish the chase. And then over once again. Oh my god, massive connection. The feedbacks as well. Very nicely done by Gerald. Even keeping that Prism alive with the shield battery. Solid unit movement here, unit control by Gerald. Feedbacks, Novas. War Prism as well. And even though SortOf is maxed out, he doesn't have the ideal army. He has a lot of supply tied up in Roach Ravager. We need to replace that with more Hydras, Lurkers, Vipers as well. We catch out the army. Massive connections! We may have some Lurkers, but they cannot get away. 3 Lurkers go down in an instant. We have 1 Lurker left. 3 in total. We shut down the Lurker. And SortOf is in trouble. He's up against the wall. We have 4 more Lurkers in production. Novas go up. Oh my god, they connect with the Ravagers. Solid trades here for Gerald. The goal base is getting saturated. We're getting there. It's getting up and running. Getting the Lurker. Another Lurker goes down. Storm is not done. We are lacking feedbacks. Nice abductions. We get up. Almost every single Disruptor. 1 Disruptor lives. 3 of them went down. At the same time, War Prism into the main, going for a DT drop, catching the Queens. War Prism should go down. Oh, barely gets away. And Gerald, he has eyes on the goal base. He wants it. DTs are wreaking havoc. At the same time, he has control of the ramp. Oh my god, massive connection. Oh, the Storm. Storm is done. DTs, they snipe the Lurker Den. We peel up a couple of Zealots. They wreak havoc in the goal base. They shut it down. It feels like SortOf's being pulled apart. Has potential with all these Lurkers, but oh my god. Has had some rough trades. And here we go. The War Prism still barely alive from the start of the game. Massive warp in into the main base. Zealots wreaking havoc. GG gets called. It's just too much to handle. And Gerald, he will take the series 2-0, pulling SortOf apart and advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. With that, congratulations. Gerald does take the series and does advance on to those grand finals. Congratulations. My condolences to SortOf, as he is going to be knocked out and knocked down. And do we have the finals ready for us? That is the question. That is the question.